I love you, I love you. When I found out that all things are from thee, I knew I had somebody true. I turned my hopes towards you. Now all I want to do is tell you that I really love you so much. I really love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. Now in all my struggles today, I see that it's you that makes a way. I declare loyalty to Yahweh. How can I leave my Lord when I know that I really need you so much? I really need you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I should die, my king. Oh, please save my people, please, from destruction in these streets. I beg you, please, or we become a memory. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you. I told you, oh, my king, I know you can hear me now. For the record, I love you, I love you.
Praise the Most High and bless His holy name. My name is Yom Tufar Reef. We are here today with you to do our studies for today. Along with me is my Isha, Sister Nasanya, which is the administrator of the show. In addition, our brother and our friend, my fellow elder and elder on the council, Brother Cartrell of New York City. This is how it will go. After I do my preamble, Brother Cartrell and my praises to the Most High, and Nasanya and Brother Cartrell will introduce themselves and say their shaloms and so on and so forth. And after that, we'll get right into our studies, which will be the second book of Maccabees, chapter 11. I will lead those studies off. And Brother Cartrell will conclude the studies for the day in the book of Jonah, the prophet Jonah, chapter 3. Jonah preaches in Nineveh. See, Yah cares about everybody, not certainly just us. He cares about everybody because they're not Hebrew Israelites. And check out their responses as Brother Cartrell breaks it down for you. Quite unlike us. The people of Nineveh believes, and as a result of that belief, they take action. Be that as it may, again, welcome back to the Real Talk for Real People Study Show. A lot of you may ask me the question, Yom Tufar Arif, who are you and what are you about? Simply said, in a nutshell, as our King Dawood once said, My iniquities are numerous than the hairs on my head. And I'm lower than a dog. That's who I am. And I'm grateful to the Most High for putting me in this position, helping me get my heart right with him, so I can learn to love him with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength, and my brothers and sisters as I love myself, unlike a lot of us. And certainly a lot of you may ask, good question, Yamsu, Arif, what are your academics? Well, I took a little college. I didn't go to one of your historical HBCs. I didn't attend one of your finest colleges such as Howard and so on and so forth. But that don't mean I don't know anything. See, the Most High has led me to my university by virtue of these studies. And my university is the universe. I study historical history. I look at contemporary matters. And with the help of wisdom and understanding, I blend it all together to come up with some answers, not based upon emotion, but based upon facts. Bottom line, I would never graduate from this university. That's why we do these studies. But Brother Katra and I, Sister Nasanya, as far as this university is concerned, the universe, it doesn't stop till our caskets drop. It's just that simple. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. So without further ado, I'd like to thank the Most High for every aspect of my life and our every component. I'd like to thank the Most High for wisdom and understanding, love and compassion, and certainly humility. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Nasanya, my Esau, the administrator of the show. Nasanya, your mic is hot.
Thank you so much, Yamsu. Shalom, shalom, family. All praises to the Holy One of Israel. So happy to be back. So happy to get some learning, some studies once again. Shalom. All
Thank you,
praises.
Nasanya. Praise God, Nasanya. Thank you very much. Brother Katriel, my dear friend, our dear friend, your mic is hot.
Shalom, shalom, family. Bless Yah, oh my soul, and all that's within me. Bless his holy name. All praise, honor, and glory to the Holy One of Yisrael, the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael. Thanking him for all things and everything. The Yam Suf, Sister Nasanya, how y'all doing? May the Most High bless y'all. Shalom.
If I may answer for my Esau and I, and Nasanya is quite capable of speaking for herself. I'm sure she may add on something to it. We're doing rather well, my brother, and we may ask the same of you and your Esau and your family. Praise Yah.
Everybody's well, praise Yah. Torah Yah.
Toda Yah. Thank you very much, brother. You dropping that knowledge, Toda Yah. You dropping that knowledge, brother.
Yes, sir. Another Hebrew word.
Toda Yah. Nasanya, any comment? Katriel dropped a word on you. Nasanya, Toda Yah.
I
She
just
taking
wrote
notes?
it down. I
Okay.
just wrote it down because you ain't gonna get it. I got it, told I. But he dropped that one before. I got that in my notes too. I remember that word.
Yeah. My brother dropping them pearls. Thank you, brother.
I got
Thank you,
one for
Nasanya.
you. Mitsuyan. Excellent. Mitsuyan.
Miss Suyan.
Or
Excellent.
Mitzion.
Miss Sion.
Zion is excellent.
Miss Sion. Miss
Sion.
Sion. Praise Yah. So, Brother Katriel and Nasanya, are you both ready to get started in this university of study?
Yes. In the book of Yonah, chapter 3 and chapter 4 are really short.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read both and then through the prophet Micah tomorrow.
Do your thing, brother. Do your thing. Praise the Most High. Thank
Praise
you, Brother Katriel. Thank you, Nasanya. Thank you, fellow students. So without further ado, let's get started in our study. And a lot of you may ask, well, Yam Sufar Reef, why do you always talk about universal white race supremacy? Good question. It is the last kingdom. If you don't know what it is, how it works, you'll be totally confused about everything. And certainly some of us are, because we don't know the last kingdom. We think it's some hocus pocus nonsense. It's right before your eyes. And the reason why I said that, the Most High has led me to wisdom and understanding to see how it works. And it's a universal concept. It's not confined to one land mass. It's a loosely conglomerate of nations that iron weld together by clay. And they universally control this universe by military armaments, by any means necessary, in every aspect and a component of your lives. And you may say, Young Super, you crazy, brother. You crazy as you want to be. They got some countries over there in so-called Africa. And they got kings and princes and so on and so forth. They got other countries elsewhere, but they don't run nothing. And the evidence speaks for itself. They do what they're told, how they told, when they told. And if universal right race supremacy says jump, they'll say high. They can't even put their clothing on the market. They got to wear hand-me-downs that they ship here from these United States of America. I suspect Britain too, and so on and so forth. They got to wear those. They wear Michael Jordan 1970 clothes. I'm not trying to be facetious and or ugly, but the evidence speaks for itself. They can't mine their own minerals, because if they did, who's going to buy them? So they do what they're told, when they told, and how they told. Yes, they're just kings and princes and so on and so forth, just a namesake only. And that's just where it is. And a lot of you brothers and sisters out here saying, Young Super, I'm a man, I run things. Okay. Okay. I remember one time, in reference to that, I told a guy, I run my house. I'm the man. I run my house. And he came over. I watched the wash machine dry and so on and so to speak. I'm being facetious now. And so I'm saying that in regards to that. You may say you're a man, but you do what you want to do and how you want to do it when you want to do it. And don't see if they don't shut you down. Well, I got a gun, but you ain't got an armament factory to make any guns nor any munitions. You don't have airplanes. You don't have tanks. You don't have warships. Only thing you got is your big mouth. So what I'm saying is this. It should be incumbent upon each of us who don't have these things as we said we do, and saying you're a man or you're a woman, can't nobody tell you what to do. Well, you do what you do go against what universal white race supremacy says. I've heard tell that they are, as far as our sisters are concerned, they don't need no man. Donald Trump has put forth a notion to take away their tax base. You know, just like our sister, the socially engineered condition just to have babies and lay on their laurels and collect. Donald Trump said he's going to do away with that. He said, if she's getting any subsidies from the government and the man is paying child support and he's paying religiously, so to speak, he gets to claim that child on child support. So it's incumbent upon us, the men and our women, to stop playing footsie, stop lying to ourselves and to each other, to start gathering ourselves together, to start doing what we can, how we can, and when we do it, and do the right thing for us, the Most High is concerned for each other. And learn to love each other, because we have been socially engineered in our condition to hate anything that remotely looks like us, and willing to mistreat it, kill it, and write a rap song, make $1 million, and so on and so forth. And it's true. And the reason why I said it, the evidence speaks for itself. You can get mad at me all you want, but you can't get mad at the evidence. And I don't say this to make us feel bad. I don't say this to make us feel down. I say this because we need to open up our eyes. Our people perish for lack of vision. Because we need to open up our eyes. We need to see it for what it is instead of what we want it to be, and stop lying to ourselves and each other, talking about I'm a man, I don't need a man, and so on and so forth. And the evidence speaks for us. How's that working out for us? Our young brothers and young sisters reduce to a monstrosity, where you turn on a local station, a national, and international. There we are, making a mockery of ourselves, mistreating, abusing, and sometimes killing one another. And you said that is not social engineering in our condition? The evidence speaks quite different in that regard. So without further ado, Let us get started in these studies. That's why I mention universal white race supremacy all the time, because it needs to be mentioned, the last kingdom. Verse and Maccabees give you an understanding of the modus operandi, their mindset of these individuals by virtue of the Greeks, then the Romans, and so on and so forth. This has been their mindset. See, we spend too much time studying one another, and that's a good thing. But no time studying our enemies. That's a bad thing. Verse 1. Almost immediately afterwards, Lysias, this Greek, the king's tutor and cousin, chief minister of the realm, much disturbed at the turn of events, it turned against them by virtue of us. In verse 2, his is the responses to us. Did he send us a letter? Did he send us a peace treaty? No. He doubled down. Mustered the 80,000 foot soldiers and his entire cavalry and advanced against the Yehudites, intending to make the city a place for Greeks to live in. That's what they do. That's the modus operandi. It didn't start in these contemporary times. It's just been part of their mindset. And the evidence speaks for itself in that regard. Making the city a place for the Greeks to live in, I expect there's a close conglomerate of them, Greeks, Romans, and Edomites living there now, as I speak. They started, they found it, they ended it, but it's not over. In verse 3, to levy a tax on the temple. They had a hidden agenda, but we don't have the temple now. But it's still taxing people. As on what they did with other national shrines, they take over the mindset of the people by virtue of their national shrines, which they took over our mindset by virtue of the taking of our temple and so on and so forth. And to put and they always do this. This is their mindset. And to put the office of high priest up for sale every year. You want to be a high priest? Come on, we got you. And they do it the same way in this contemporary society. You want to be pastor? You want to be preacher? You don't want to be Reverend Chicken Leg? So on and so. Well, we got you. In verse 4, he took no account at all of the power of Yah. They don't take account of Yah even now. Being sublimely confident, he was confident in his 10,000 of his military might. And they still are. His thousands of cavalry, military might, and his 80 elephant military might, and they still rely on that. Verse 5, invading Yehuda, he approached Ben-Zur, a fortified position about 20 miles from Jerusalem, and began to subject it to strong pressure. Verse 6, when Maccabeus, Yehudas, and his men learned that Lycia, this Greek, was besieging the fortress, what did they do? Scattered into many splendid groups? No, they gathered together. They and the populace with them begged Yah, gathered themselves together. Then they begged Yah with lamentation and tears to send a good angel to save Israel. That's what they did. They didn't ask for military might. They asked for what they needed, what we need in this contemporary time. But Maccabeus, Yehuda himself, Yehuda, was the first to take up his weapons. And they urged the rest to risk their lives with him in support of their brothers. So they sallied out resolutely as one man, gathered together, not a many splendid group. Verse 8. They were still near Jerusalem when a rider, this angel, appeared at their head, brandishing golden weapons. That's what we need. That's what they needed. And certainly the evidence speaks for itself in this regard, for this contemporary time. That's what we need. Verse 9, with one accord, not a many splendid group, not everybody thinking themselves something special, but with one accord gathered together, they all blessed the Elohim of mercy in unification, formation, and found themselves filled the result of this, found themselves filled with such courage that they were ready to lay low, not men only, but the fiercest beasts. They were ready to put the metal to the pedal on it. Men, beasts, whatever you got, in war of iron. See, the Most High infused that confidence because you fear not. They advanced in battle order with the aid of this celestial ally. The angel aided them in their advancement in battle order. And Yah having mercy on us, them, charging like lions, that's what we are. We represent the tribe of Yehuda, who of the tribe of Yehuda, lions. And like lions, charging on the enemy. They laid low 11,000 of the infantry and 1,600 horsemen and routed all the rest with the aid of the Most High. And that angel. I wonder what was a Michael. I don't know. I wasn't there. And the Most High doesn't consult me of such matters. Verse 12. Of those, the majority got away. These Greeks, wounded and weaponless. Lysias, this Greek himself, escaped only by ignominious flight. He ran like a chicken. A chicken running from a hawk. Well, no, a chicken running from a lion. Verse 11. Oh, no, verse 13. Now, Lysias, this Greek, was not lacking in intelligence. And as he reflected on the reverse, he did associate in the end. He reflected on it. He had just suffered. He realized that the Hebrews were invincible because that's the key element. Then and now. Always have been, always will be. The mighty Elohim fought with them, or simply for them. He therefore sent them a delegation as a result of this, Lysias, to persuade them to accept reasonable terms all round and promise to compel the king, this Greek, to become their friend. Verse 15, Maccabeus, which is Yehuda's, thinking only of the common good, is what we do as elders. We don't think about, or we shouldn't think about, personal achievements and our allocations, but only the common, what's good for the nation. Just like Maccabeus did. Agreed to all that Lysias proposed, this Greek. Where Maccabeus submitted to Lysias, this Greek, in writing concerning the Yehudites was granted by the king. Bad mistake. Verse 16. Here's the text of the letter. Lysias, this Greek, wrote the Yehudites. Lysias to the Yehudite people. Greetings. John and Absalom, your envoys, have delivered to me the communications transcribed below. Request me to approve its provisions. Verse 18. Anything requiring the king's attention, I put before him. Whatever was possible, I've granted. Verse 19. Provided you maintain your goodwill toward the interests of the state, the Greek state, not your own state. I should do my best in the future to promote your will as long as you look out the best interests of our state. I'm going to help y'all with y'all state. How'd that work out for our ancients? Certainly ain't working out for us in this contemporary time. Looking out for the state's best interests. What about your own state? Verse 20. As regards to details, I've given orders for you, your envoys, and my officials to discuss these with you. Verse 21. May you prosper. 24th day of the O Chorus in the year 148 BC. Verse 22. The king's letter ran as follows, this Greek king. King Antiochus to his brother, this Greek Lysias, greeting. Verse 23. Now that our father has taken his place among the gods. They put their name on everything, like Trump Tower. Our will is that the subjects of the realm be left undisturbed to attend to their own affairs. We were doing that before they got there. Truth be told, we didn't need them there. We were trying to do that before they got there. Verse 24. We understand that the Yehudites do not approve our father's policy. The adoption of Greek, that's the whole premise. The adoption of their ways. The adoption, that's the modus operandi, then and now. The adoption of Greek custom. That's why a lot of us say Greek for sororities and so on and so forth. Because we don't understand. We don't understand who we are, what we are, and what we should be doing. They want to adopt everything that's foreign to us. But prefer, these were quite different, our ancient ones. But prefer their own way of life, as we should in this contemporary time. And has to be allowed to observe their own laws. Verse 25, accordingly, since we intend this people to be free from vexation like any other, our ruling is that the temple be restored to them. They're always trying to give us something that we already got. And that they conduct their affairs according to the custom. We don't need you to say that. That's what we're doing before you got there. The custom of their ancestors. Some of us, just like today. Verse 26. It will therefore be your concern to send them a mission of friendship. They always like to send, they got warehouses of friendship. I imagine these ancient Greeks and Romans had warehouses of friendship. Don't mean nothing. So that on learning our policy, they may have confidence and happily go about their bit, but you still got to learn our way. Because we're going to take your way sooner or later. And the end result in this contemporary time. Verse 27. The king's letter to the Yehudite nation was in these terms. King Ahasuerus. We didn't even have a senate. But they try to project things on us, what they do. And that's why they can't treat you as you are, because they only see you through the eyes of themselves. They don't see you through the eyes of yourselves. Our enemies only see you through the eyes of themselves. They said a Yehudite senate. We didn't have a senate. And the rest of the Yehudites. Greetings. Verse 28. If you're well, that is as we would wish. We want y'all to be well. We ourselves are in good health. Menelaus, this Greek, informs us that you wish to return home and tend your own affair. You better believe it. Even the day as I speak, we wish to return home and tend to our own damn business. Praise Yah. Verse 30. Accordingly, all those who return before the 30th day of Angstendicus may rest assured they have nothing to fear. Verse 31. The Yehudite may make use of their own kind of food, and their own laws, as formerly. And none of them is to be molested. We don't need all that. We didn't need you to get out the way. We need our ancient enemies to get out the way. We need our modern day contemporary enemies to get out the way. We didn't need them to mandate anything for us. And certainly in this contemporary times, we don't either. Those who are aware of the Most High and that they are Hebrew Israelites, they don't need that. Renegades, a whole different subject matter. They need you. But those that are conscious of the Most High, know their duties and more obligations and so on and so forth, we don't need to be mandated and dictated. None of them are to be molested anyway for any unwitting offenses. Verse 32. I'm in fact sending Menelaus, this Greek, to set your minds at rest. We don't need you to set our minds at rest. We have the Most High to set our minds at rest. Man, our enemies are so arrogant, aren't they? Certainly so in these contemporary times. Verse 33. Farewell. 15th day of Exanticus in the year 148 BC. And the Romans. Verse 34. The Romans also sent the Yehudites a letter, which reads as follows. Quintius Memmius, Titus, we know about him. Menelaus, Manius, and Sergius, legates of the Romans, to the people of the Yehudite, greetings. In verse 35. Whereas Lysias, this Greek, the king's cousin, has granted, we also approve. Y'all need a double approval of us. Y'all need a double love of us. Y'all need to be told what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And we certainly need to import all this to you, because you can't do it by yourself. And I would admit, as far as some renegades against the Most High, that is true. But those who are conscious, those who love the Most High with all their heart, mind, souls, and strength, and their brothers and sisters as themselves, we don't need all that. But they are arrogant. Notice that. They were arrogant then, and they are still arrogant. Verse 36. As for the matters he decided to refer to the king, consider them carefully and send someone without delay. And we are to interpret them to your, we got to understand them to our advantage. See, that's what they're still doing. See, a lot of y'all who are busy focusing on one another to argue, fuss, and fight with, and sometimes kill, name calling, and say, I'm better than you because I know a little bit more than you. I got a couple of cars, I'm better than you. I got a little money in the bank, I'm better than you. And that's what we study. We study each other to belittle and denigrate. But our enemies have a different mode of operation in our regard. They interpret us, meaning they study us to our advantage, to take advantage of us in ancient times, and certainly these contemporary times. Because we are leaving Antiochus, this city, this Greek city. Lose no time, in verse 37. Therefore, and sending us those who can tell us what your intentions are. Because we always got a plan behind the plan. Our enemies had a plan behind the plan. And certainly as I speak, I suspect so. Because I know their modus operandi. I study our enemies by virtue of these studies. All praises to the Most High. It didn't come upon me by inclination, but by the direction of wisdom and understanding, to understand our enemies and to study them quite intently, as we all should be doing, instead of studying one another to belittle, denigrate, and cuss and fuss and sometimes fight and name call and sometimes kill. Those are the renegades of the nation. Renegades in ancient times, and certainly renegade in these contemporary times. The final verse. Farewell, the 15th day of Dio Chorus, in the year 148. They ain't done with our ancients, just like they're not done with us. We think the door is closed. The door is closed on the conspiracy. They got us. Well, they got us. They want to keep us. It's called social engineering and conditioning, and certainly programming by virtue of that television. Praise Yah and bless his holy name. That being said, I'm going to ask Sister Nasanya, do she have a comment, and so on and so forth. Then my brother and friend, Brother Katra, our friend. Nasanya, do you have any comment any remarks in this studies?
I was just making a little note of the month.
Right.
The month that they and it's because what is Zen? I don't know. But I was just looking at
how spell Nasanya?
XANTHICUS on
like
the last.
Xanax, just like Xanax. Use a certain interpretation, like I'm taking Xanax. Like Xanax. Yes.
Yeah, and I was just looking at what it was compared, because of course they probably changed the name, I knew, but it's compared to the month Nisan in Hebrew, which is the month of April in this calendar here. That's something I was just touching on, just the date and the month of what month this was and what time this was, because the story, if you started from the beginning with us, this story is just letting you know how much they was just like had they foots on your neck, like on your neck, like
exactly. Nasanya, you brought something to the table that I didn't even study those months myself, and I'm very grateful for that. And it shows your love of the Most High and your love of your nation that you're doing your due diligence by virtue of your study. You're not leaving it up to Brother Cottrell and I. And you shouldn't. No one should. Do your due diligence as you've done to do these studies too, right along with us. Thank you, Nasanya. Praise you.
Thank you. Praise you.
Brother, praise you. Brother Cottrell, you have the mic.
All praise to the Holy One of Israel for another great lesson in our history. And it was very insightful, definitely, for Sister Nasanya to bring that out.
Exactly.
The fact that the more things change, the more things stay the same. But we could see that our brothers, Yehudas Maccabees, they wasn't backing down to this Greco-Roman Empire at all, to the point where they were making pacts and agreements with them. It's amazing that they had to do that, but they knew the formula to put the Most High first, to call on the Most High. And they did that to the point where the Greeks recognized, or was it the Romans recognized, that when we're connected with Yah, we're invincible, no matter how big, how great, how mighty that nation is. And Yah told us that, because we came out of Mizraim, not even a nation. And he warned us going into the land of Canaan. He told us there's nations in there greater and mightier than you. Don't fear them, because I'm with you. And these brothers in the days of the Maccabees took that to heart. And it worked for them. And the formula should work for us as well. Praise Yah.
Praise God. Brother Cottrell, my dear friend, just like my Esau Nasanya pointed out some things that's very informative and instructive for us. Fear not. This is wrong with a lot of us so fear. Donald Trump took away my food stamp. Donald Trump took away my Medicaid. Fear not. Praise the Most High. Go ahead, Brother Cottrell.
Yeah, you got to trust in Yah with all your heart, soul, and might. And that's a spiritual thing. And our people aren't taught how to be spiritual with Yah. But that comes with wisdom, right? Because wisdom connects you with Yah. You know how to control your impulses, and you discipline yourself with wisdom. That's how you connect with Yah. But most people are not disciplined. They don't like discipline and instruction. So they miss out on wisdom, wherefore they don't connect with Yah. So intelligence is not necessarily the discipline of the spirit that helps you connect with the Most High. And we can see that these brothers wasn't trying to strategize against the Greeks and the Romans. First thing they did was use their spiritual powers. And they knew what that was. Fasting and crying out to Yah. Some people think that's like, you're wasting your time doing that. But we can see that it worked for the Maccabees.
I think not, Brother Cottrell. We're not wasting our time. As a matter of fact, Cottrell, I'm glad you pointed out. The first Friday of this month coming, we're fasting. We're calling out to the Most High.
Next month. We already did it this month, man. What are you trying to start?
For next month. For next month. Praise God. The first Friday of the month. Thank you, Cottrell. The first Friday of next month. From sundown Friday to Saturday, Sunday. Praise for the nation. Praise the Most High. Thank you, Brother Cottrell.
Yes, sir. Another great lesson, brother. Another great lesson. And we know that these people, Native Americans told us they speak with a forked tongue. So the Greeks is writing letters and the Romans is writing letters to the Yehudites. Yeah, it sounds good. But do they fulfill their word? Are they men of their word? And we know that they're not. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Thank you, Brother Cottrell. Our dear friend and brother, fellow elder and elder on the council, is about to proceed in the last segment of study for tonight in the book of Jonah, the prophet, chapter 3 and chapter 4. In conclusion of that study, Brother Cottrell will be starting in Mecca Yah tomorrow. Praise the Most High. It doesn't stop till our casket drop. Praise the Most High.
And we don't want that happening too soon. Praise Yah.
No, not too soon. I ain't calling for it, Brother Cottrell. I ain't calling for it.
Yeah. I hope not. In the book of Jonah, 3rd chapter, all praise to the Holy One of Israel for the great prophet Jonah. And he's like a lot like us. We don't want to do what Yah told us to do. We don't want to fulfill our mission because we are servants and messengers of Yah. The prophets are that on a higher level. But all of our people are supposed to be that, messengers and servants of Yah. So let's see what the servant and messenger of Yah has to go through. It says the word of Yah came to Yonah for a second time. Set out for the great city Nineveh and proclaim it, the message that I give you. I'm going to give you the message when you get there. Just go. Therefore, Yonah set out and journeyed to Nineveh in obedience to the command of Yah. We know what he did the first time. He tried to run to Tarshish. And he went through that whole adventure of being swallowed up by a big fish for 3 days. This time, he ain't messing around. Yah said, go to Nineveh, and he's headed straight there. Now, Nineveh was an exceeding large city. It required 3 days simply to walk across it. So 3 days to walk across the city of Nineveh. Yonah began his journey into the city, walking for an entire day, day 1. Then he proclaimed, after 40 days, Nineveh will be overthrown. He's letting the people know, you better straighten up and fly right, because in the next 40 days, disaster is coming. The people of Nineveh believed the message from Elohim. Now, why would they do that? Maybe the fishermen told them about Yonah, what had happened at the sea, how they had to turn to the Elohim, and Elohim calmed the seas when they prayed to him. So I guess the message got out. They proclaimed a fast, and everyone, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. These people were humble. From the greatest to the least, wow, everybody. Sounds like they were unified. When the news reached the king of Nineveh, he arose from his throne, laid aside his robe, covered himself with sackcloth, even the king, and sat down in ashes. Wow, even the king. Then he had this proclamation delivered throughout Nineveh. Neither man nor beast, neither herd nor flock is to eat anything. Do not allow them to eat or drink. That's a real fast. Every man and beast is to be covered with sackcloth. Everybody. Let all cry out with fervor to Elohim. Everybody. And let them turn from their evil ways and their violent behavior. That's part of repentance. Not just prayer, but action. Changing from the ways that you used to be accustomed to. Who knows? Perhaps Elohim may change his mind and relent. And his fierce anger may be abated, so that we will not perish. When Elohim saw by their actions that they had turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not inflict upon them the punishment that he had threatened. Y'all notice, not only did they fast and pray, but they turned from their evil ways. That's what saved them. In chapter 4, the final chapter of the book of Yonah, he goes on. This decision greatly displeased Yonah, and he became very angry, praying to Yah. He said, Yah, isn't this exactly what I predicted when I was still in my own country? That is why in the beginning I fled to Tarshish. I knew that you were a gracious and compassionate Elohim, who is slow to anger, abounding in mercy, and ready to relent from inflicting punishment. Therefore, Yah, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. Yah replied, do you have any right to be angry? And that's a good question for all of us, because Yah got all the anger we need, and his anger and his wrath is poured out against us. Why are we so angry? What are we angry about? We need to check that. So Yonah, what's he mad about that? Yah forgave them? Okay. Then Yonah left Nineveh and walked to the east of the city. After making a boat for himself there, he sat under it in the shade while he waited to see what would happen to the city. Oh, so he didn't know what happened. He's waiting for the judgment to come to see if the people made the change. Yah Elohim then ordained that ground, that a gourd plant, then Yah Elohim then ordained that a gourd, I don't know what a gourd plant, should grow up above Yonah to cast shade over his head and relieve his discomfort. Yonah was very happy about this plant. But at dawn the next day, Elohim ordained that a worm should infest the gourd plant, and it withered. Then when the sun rose, Elohim ordained that a scorching wind should blow from the east. The sun beat down on the head of Yonah to such an extent that he grew faint. Then he begged that he might die, saying, I would be better off dead than alive. Elohim said to Jonah, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? Jonah's full of anger, ain't he? Jonah replied, I have every reason to be angry enough to die. Some people are so angry, they want to die. Then Yah said, you are concerned about the plant, for which you did not labor and which you did not grow. It came into being in one night, and it perished in one night. Therefore, why should you not be concerned about Nineveh, that great city in which you are more than 120,000 persons who cannot tell their right hand from their left, as well as innumerable cattle? So Yah's concerned with all living in every nation, and he gives every nation the opportunity to repent and change from their evil ways. And we read it in the book of Yirmiyahu, the 18th chapter, verse 7 and 8. If I could go there real quick, I'm gonna tell you what it says. In the book of Yirmiyahu, the 18th chapter, verse 7 and 8. This is what Yah says. On occasion, I may threaten to uproot, tear down, and destroy a particular nation or kingdom. However, should that nation which I have threatened to turn away, should that nation which I have threatened turn away from its evil ways, I will then relent and not inflict the disaster I had devised. Praise Yah and bless his holy name.
Praise Yah. Thank you, Brother Cartier, for the very important studies in the Word of Yah. Nasanya, do you have any comment? Because my wife, Nasanya, is a agriculturalist, and she has some seeds in regards to the gourd, and it's called birdhouse seeds. It said, grow your own birdhouse, giant pear-shaped gourds made perfect housing for manatees, finches, and I guess at that time they were quite huge. And so when Brother Cartier, my Esau, she does gardening and so on and so forth, she provided me some seeds. Your son, do you have any closing remarks and comments in that regard?
No, everything was really self-explanatory, really very self-explanatory. It's
Thank you, Nasanya.
no, I don't have any comments, to be honest. No, I don't.
Thank you, Nasanya. Brother Cartier has put forth some very informative studies in the book of Jonah, the prophet. How attitude gets you set off into the wrong place. And as Cartier pointed out, too many of us are angry for the wrong reason, Yom Soup included. And sometimes your anger can cause you to make some mistakes. And so we all need to be humble to the Most High in every regard, because our people are not our people. We don't own our people. The Most High owns our people, all of us. Praise the Most High. Brother Cartier, what's your closing remarks and comments?
Give thanks once again to the Most High for allowing us to bring forth these studies so we can increase our wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about who we are, what our purpose is, what Yah's plan is, and where we're headed from here. May the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be acceptable to Yah, our Father, our King. And may he watch between us while we're absent one from another. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Thank you, Brother Cartier. Nasanya, you want to say shalom, good night to the students?
Shalom and good night.
You heard my Esau, you heard Brother Cartier. We love y'all. Shalom and good night.
me, please, Lord, 'cause I feel so alone. I feel like I have nobody. I feel like I need to let you know you're the only one who could give me that chance just to get away. My king, would you help me, save me today, I pray. Get away from all the sin that I have, and the things that lead me astray. If I strive, I'll reach my Lord. I'll reach my Lord. Say like one trapped in a lion den. Lord, will they slay me for all my sins? Will they take my soul? These lions look like people that I call my friends. But I pray to thee, don't let them kill me, no. Father, please, would you help me? Don't let them take my soul. Get away from all the sins that and the